All right, 99.9 Punk World Radio FM. You guys already know what time it is. And right here, right now, on this Saturday evening, we are actually joined by phenomenal California band. That's right. We actually have Out to Lunch right here on 99.9 FM on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, the radio station airwaves. How are you guys actually doing this evening?
Oh, we're doing good, man.
Yeah.
You know,
It's good, man.
Saturday night.
Hey, you can't go wrong with Saturday night, especially out there in California, man. Because out there in California, everyone knows there's always something to do out there on the west coast of California.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
we're near the coast. We're near the mountains. You can go snowboarding and go to the beach in the same day.
I gotta say that.
We're to just drink beer behind an alley where I'm not supposed to.
Behind a liquor store.
Yeah, behind a dumpster.
in a brown bag.
Talk about all night what we want to do and never do it.
King Cobra, old English.
Hey,
So-
as a Canadian, I have no clue what it feels like to go swimming and then snowboarding on the same day. I mean, us Canadians, we can dream about stuff like that, but if we want to go snowboarding, we got to wait about 6 months for winter and then 6 months for summer to go swimming.
But you guys have like ice fishing and hockey and stuff
Something
around here.
yeah, well, not California.
True. I mean, that's all stuff I'd like to experience.
Hey, I got to say, the ice fishing is fun. I know a lot of people that do it, but the way our weather patterns have been in Ontario, I don't even trust the ice fishing, man, because honestly, I feel like I'd fall through and be fish food.
Oh, yeah, dude. You have to take some Xanax or something before you go out there. Okay, I'm good.
But also, guys, I know you're very busy individuals, and of course, I'm not going to take your entire Saturday night, but I want to take you back to the beginning of this amazing band. I got to ask, like, how did you guys actually get together and come together as one to form this band? Because when you listen to Out to Lunch, you could just hear that you guys are literally meant to be together in a band. Your chemistry is just absolutely phenomenal.
And that's what it comes down to is, I mean, you got to have people that love the music and you're friends with. We started off originally in Nuevo, and me and my brother have been playing music our whole lives. So that's given in the garage. The neighbors hated us. Cops came. After a while, we had a spot in Nuevo, and we'd meet up there twice a week. And then it slowly started building up. We got on the Jason Ellis show and some Battle of the Bands. And then after you know it, we made some connects, and we got onto Sirius XM all by ourselves, DIY. And we've just been kind of riding that wave. But we've made a lot of friends along the way. So marketing has a lot to do with it. Not marketing, but relationships. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, definitely. And you guys have such a unique band name as well. If you don't mind me asking, because honestly, I know this is a cliche kind of question. I don't normally ask these kind of questions, but your name of your guys' band is just so unique, man. Like, what made you guys decide to choose Out for Lunch?
So Out to Lunch, I used to be in a band called FFL, which was Fucked for Life. And I was in a band, and then I hit a rough spot in my younger years where I was out to lunch. I was all hooked on drugs, and I was living on the streets for a long time. And people would ask about me, saying, "Hey, where's Joey? Have you heard from Joey?" And one of my buddies, Brian Visner, would say, "Oh, he's out to lunch." So that's kind of how I got that phrase. I figured out, oh, that's what that means. When somebody's out to lunch, like they're out of it,
And you have to understand too that where we're from, this part of Southern California has a fucking major drug problem. I'm talking the people nowadays it's fentanyl. People are dying off like fucking nobody's business.
Yeah.
But back in the day, like there was a bunch of fucking tweakers and heroin, and I mean, so when we write these stories, we're talking about real shit. Like our mom would fucking leave us at the elementary school. We'd have to walk home sometimes. I don't even know, like 3 hours. Yeah, she was too drunk to pick us up.
she'd forget.
So we throw a lot of that in there. And
So a lot of lyrics are about true stories that we actually dealt with in our lives in the past, or our friends have dealt with. And for the majority of the members in the band, we all grew up together, even in the past. Playing in other bands or playing, shows together.
I mean, we've all known each other 10 years at least.
Yeah.
I'm the newest one, But
yeah, this guy's in Strike 12. They're releasing a new album. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but you should be. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, no,
This is Matt. He saved the album right here. He came in and filled it, bucks on some bass. Good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't write songs for this band, though, because I actually had a pretty decent childhood.
He fills in nicely though.
Yeah.
He's got some ideas. Once we start thinking about shit, we come up with some fucking crazy ideas, dude.
Yeah.
And going back to when you guys said about the fentanyl problem and whatnot, we got a bad problem like that out here in Ontario as well. Like it's so bad that public libraries and government facilities actually have to carry Narcan just in their facilities. So if someone actually overdoses in the library, they can get Narcan. It's absolutely insane, man. I really hope that it's just like the '80s, how they had the cocaine problem and stuff like that. I really hope that this kind of blows over as quick as possible.
Yeah, I'd really probably rather not talk about it because we lost a family member recently, and but it's a problem. It's definitely a problem, and I don't think nobody's doing anything about it. It's kind of like they're introducing this to us to weaken the whole population. I don't know,
But it's a good thing, and with the newer songs that I'm writing, because I usually write songs, I'm still kind of in the, there's the heroin and the meth and all that type of like original drugs that people always use. And now fentanyl is like the number one. So a lot of my newer songs are going to probably be going into that aspect of things. And it's good because it's awareness, Like
people don't know.
It's good to let people know how strong that shit really is.
I smoke a shitload of weed, and now I got to worry about where I'm getting my fucking weed from because you never know. People put a little fentanyl in there. I'm like, why would you fucking waste your money when you could sell it to someone who would buy it to injure somebody? It's really weird. But that's what's going on in Southern California right now. It's huge. It's dangerous.
And also on February 1st of 2016, you guys actually released the amazing album titled Sober Shores. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this particular album. And of course, is it actually still out there to be streamed or purchased today in 2023?
All of our albums are available on all streaming services, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, they don't pay shit. SiriusXM. We've been on SiriusXM for about 7 years now. That song, Sober Shores, is from the album A Boy Named Suicide, which was our first release.
And you can find all that on the website. It's www.outtolunchpunk.com. And that will bring you to all the other sources like
Spotify,
YouTube, and everything,
But the one thing that's important though is once we got through that Jason Ellis show and we won that, and we got put on the SiriusXM, we started making royalties. And people around us are like, "You're not on a fucking major label. You're not doing this," But we came up with Broken Home Records, so that's our label. And we signed up our own PR and everything through like Sound Exchange, even CD Baby. We made a lot of money. We still are getting paid from SiriusXM, so that's a blessing. And I would recommend anybody in a band that wants to get their shit going. You don't have to have a rich family. You got to have a quick hand on that email. Just email the shit out of everybody like I did, and eventually you'll get somebody that'll notice you. Attach MP3s. Who gives a shit if they don't look at it? Do 1 million. You know what I mean? Because out of that 1 million, 1,000 will watch it.
Yeah.
And when you said a few moments ago about Jason Ellis, I was wondering if you can actually just tell our listeners a bit more detail about that opportunity, because obviously you guys had the opportunity to interact with legendary pro skateboarder Jason Ellis, man. I remember seeing him do some crazy shit on the skateboard when I was a kid, man. He still does some crazy stuff, but back in his prime, he was killer on that skateboard.
Yeah, and he still has Tony come on and they do their shows, and there was a little bit of restructuring at SiriusXM. So now it's mostly podcasts. But Jason, we have to thank Jason for most of our popularity because that's what brought it to the attention of the uppers over there.
Dude, it started out as a joke. It was real funny.
Yeah.
He didn't know what out to lunch meant really either.
He didn't really care. He was joking about the name. Oh, what are you guys? The lunch biscuits, the fucking lunch baskets. Fucking. Then we approached him and the boss was like, "Hey, we want to throw that song Sober Shores in constant rotation." He's like, "Mate, what?" Oh, he didn't like that, but it's still in rotation on Faction Pump. Listen to Faction Pump. I know you don't get it on all of your cars, but still listen to it. It's good.
That's pretty cool that song actually has been in constant rotation nonstop since that day. Because I do know a lot. That's amazing for you guys, but I do know some radio stations after a little while they kind of freshen up their playlist, pull a song or two out. But the fact that you guys are still spinning, man, is absolutely phenomenal exposure, especially Sirius XM, man, because that's worldwide radio.
I think they forgot.
Well, hopefully,
Yeah, hush.
at the end of the day, hope any executives that are listening to this just
Yeah.
Hey,
pretend
guys,
we weren't talking about this.
we love you guys.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
was
timeless
very-
piece. They can't get
Yeah.
always relevant. It's about a personal experience. So
And
these
it's a really good song.
it doesn't expire.
Even that song has a strong message. I mean, even though we were all drunks and addicts or whatever, the song's it's singing about getting sober.
I wrote that fucking song. I wrote that riff in high school and presented it to like 5 different bands, and they didn't like that riff, the opening riff. And then I finally got here with my brother, and we were jamming with some other people, brought that riff in, and then our other guitar player, Cody, who's a mastermind. This guy, he's the best musician I know in the world. He took it, and he just went places with it that I didn't know. So a lot of Out to Lunch has to deal with like us bringing stuff to Cody, who unfortunately couldn't make it today. And Cody, he's a musical genius. Like it's incredible.
And if you have really good music and you have really good lyrics, I think that's what makes an overall really good song. It's how it's delivered. If it gets in your head and you're like, oh man, that melody, and then you're also like, those words make sense to me, or I can relate to that. To me, that's what a great song consists of. So.
And also, guys, in September of 2018, you guys were actually a part of a 6 Slabs compilation album titled Sonic Sound 2. I was wondering if you can actually tell us a bit more about this compilation. And of course, how did this opportunity actually come to be for you guys? Because this album had so many amazing bands just like yourselves as a part of it.
Well, Slaboratory, first off, they're family.
And thank you so much to them.
Thank you so much to Slaboratory.
They do a lot out here for the scene.
Trent, Robert,
Yeah.
Chris, they're huge. Like if you notice our first 2 albums and a lot of our merch, we still have the Slaboratory logo on that, and they completely helped us out so much. And you have to understand that here, like in Southern California, punk rock is a family. So San Diego, we're close to San Diego. Even this guy, Strike 12, they're doing big things. They just got signed to fucking Thousand Island Records, right?
Thousand Islands, yeah.
Yeah,
They're based out of Canada as well.
but we're all a family down here. Even if you look at like bands that are signed on like Cybertracks and fat bands, they play shows in San Diego under Slaboratory, and we get to meet a lot of people, interact.
What's funny about that, the way it started with Slaboratory was we were at a show back in 2013 or 2014 when it was the Pennywise.
Everybody was playing. It was Pennywise, Lagwagon, Strung Out.
But it was when Jim just got back doing the Pennywise thing, and they had like a reunion show going on, and that's where we were at this hotel in Hollywood, and man, it was party. Like everybody from everywhere was there. From all over.
We had acoustic guitars out there.
It was party.
Up there,
Yeah, it was just off the chain. And we're at this and so we all mobbed down there. All these people who didn't know each other. People from San Diego, us from Riverside County. I think these other people were from Orange County, and we all just met up in Hollywood. We were all partying together, and Slab Crew was there, and that's how we first met them. And man, that was before like we even had a good recording or anything. Out to Lunch was barely starting.
We didn't have shit,
and that's how we kind of started our relationship.
We were bragging about, we got our new band, and we're showing them like videos that we filmed off our phones. Like, listen to
The
this
worst
shit.
recordings
On
ever.
a flip phone.
Yeah, but they're still so nice. They're like, oh, that's rad, bro.
Yeah,
Give
they're
us some
cool.
Thrasher stickers. And ever since then, it's been evolving. And that you want to keep an eye on Slaboratory shows, man. They're going to be doing some big shit.
Yeah.
They're the perfect bridge between like getting your top dog punk bands, and bridging the ones that want to start out or maintain where they're at and get to that level. Like it's kind of like a company that will include everybody.
Give
Yeah.
everyone a chance to play with
So
bigger
they'll have
bands.
like Strung Out headline. They'll have Ignite, Wilhelm Scream, huge names. A
And
Good Riddance. Tomorrow you're playing with Teenage Bottle Rocket.
Yes.
Put that out there. Strike 12, Teenage Bottle Rocket, Brick by Brick tomorrow.
in San Diego.
But yeah, they give the opportunity for bands that are, fucking newer to play with these big names that we've all dreamed about. Like, literally, if you'd asked me in high school, there's no way I'm playing with Strung Out. There's no way I'm fucking going to be opening up for Ignite and all this shit.
Yeah.
And it all comes to light if you put in the work.
Yeah, they're a great team.
One thing I'd like to talk about too is Jimbo Phillips, that does our graphics. He does all the graphics for Santa Cruz Skateboards. We owe that guy a ton of gratitude. And not only him, David Franklin with Lunchbox Studios. We wouldn't be here without David.
Congrats, David.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, he just had a baby too.
He did just have a baby. So congratulations, Bam Bam.
Baby Bam
Boom!
And also, guys, on March 24th, so literally just last month, you guys actually dropped this stellar album titled Highway 74. I was wondering if you can actually just tell us a bit more about this record. And of course, are there any hard copies available to be purchased today of this amazing brand new recent album?
Soon. Yeah, we haven't got to the hard copies just yet. It was kind of a struggle just to get everything wrapped up. There's just been a lot going on, but we did at least finish the album. We wanted to get it out there because it's been so long, we wanted people to hear it. But we do plan on getting the hard copies done, and we already have the artwork, of course.
This is our third album, and the first two rolled along really smooth. This one, I shit you not, we spent 2 years perfecting this. And this has a lot to do with our guitar player, Cody, who gets in the studio, and he can hear that cymbal that's off 1 BPM or whatever, and he's critical. So we're really proud of this album, but we didn't have much. I don't know. We could have probably did some more marketing for it.
It took a while to write to finish because this album is probably one of my, for me personally, it has to do a lot with like real life stuff that I've gone through in the past couple of years. So there's a few songs on there that are all about basically what I was going through. And I couldn't finish writing it because I wasn't done going through it yet, So it took some time to actually get the lyrics right. And Highway 74 is a major highway out here in Southern California that actually goes from Hemet all the way up to Lake Elsinore. And there's these towns in between, like where we're from, like Romoland, and these little smaller towns, Homeland. And each of these towns have a lot of craziness, man. I'm talking like just drugs, everything you can think of. Like it's pretty much
It's fucking ghetto.
it's ghetto. There's a lot of lower income in between the
fucking
two.
ghetto, bro.
So, and that highway has been known for a lot of accidents. Like ever since we grew up, it was called Blood Alley because there's so many accidents, head-on collisions.
Yeah, you can look it up online. You look up
Highway
Highway
74 is like
California.
known,
It's so many people died, and it goes through all the nastiness. Like not necessarily because Highway 74 goes to the coast where the beautiful people live.
Once you get over the mountain,
and then you come over the mountain,
the dangerous ass mountain in
Like
Ortega.
fucking Romoland, Paris, fucking
Yeah.
Hemet, shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I wrapped that up. I kind of used that metaphor with all this kind of like haunted stuff with werewolves and vampires, and then I put that together with the addiction, out here, the drug problem, and I kind of put that with the characters. And like to me, I love the lyrics. Me personally, I love it because it's just so cool how I put that together, like a metaphor with these characters, but also it's like true. The drug scene out here is actually, it hits head on with what's going on. So I was really proud the way I delivered that in the lyrics.
Hey, I got a question for you, my friend. So,
Yeah, most
Okay.
definitely.
So, since as we've been on Sirius XM, I get a lot of inquiries from people in Quebec, in Canada in general, and they want us to come out there, but I got to figure out if it's going to be, if I can get enough people out there. I don't know if you have a thing where you can pull them in and see, but it'd be rad to come out to Canada.
To be honest with you, me personally, I'm not a promoter. I get this question a lot. I'm just the DJ and the radio station owner, but I will say, in my little town of Prescott, where I'm broadcasting from right now, I'm going to be entirely honest. The punk community isn't really big. I'm trying to get it big out here because I love punk rock. If you really want really good punk rock shows that are successful with the actual audience, I would say either Toronto or most definitely Montreal, because they actually have their own punk rock festival they do every single summer. I think it's called Pouza Festival. I know I'm English. I don't speak French, so I do know I'm probably saying that wrong, but I think it's Pouza or Pouza Festival, and it's just riddled with just pure punk rock.
Isn't that the one Emily's in charge of, or no?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
I've been to Vancouver. I like it there. I don't know how much of a punk scene there is out there. It's nice.
It sounds bad. The punk scene there is probably bigger than Prescott. Like, I live in a really small town of 3,000 people. I see people driving past me in lawnmowers. I shit you not, on the road.
that's cool, though, man. Hey.
It's kind of weird though. I'm a city boy, right? So when I moved to like this town, I was like, okay, small town. It's not going to be that bad. I'm sitting there on my porch having a cigarette, and I just see a freaking lawnmower drive past, and I'm just like, what the hell is in this cigarette?
Yeah, dude. Our cousin moved to Idaho, and he was just telling us like the same type story. He's like, I'm out front, and homeboy's driving an ice machine, just walking out ice all over
25 miles per hour throughout the whole town.
And he's born and raised in California. He's like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, like where I come from in the city, if you were to pull that on the road, like you'd be pulled over, probably whacked with a couple batons. Like,
Yeah. Hey, I'm all about small towns, dude. Small towns are good.
I got to say, I definitely agree. That's kind of why I moved here as well. You know, like sometimes the air is fresher out here, man. Let's just say that the air is much fresher.
People hold their integrity too.
Well,
You know what I
the
mean?
city gets stressful, man. There's just too much going on sometimes. But it's nice to visit the city, you know, because it can get boring in a small town. So I like to visit the big cities and go to shows and then come back and recoup, you know, back in the small town.
Yeah, everyone's like, you going to punk rock bowling? I'm like, we're not playing. And I don't know if I'll survive.
Yeah, punk rock bowling's in Vegas, dude. It's 3 days straight, and I went 1 year, and it's hardcore. It's a lot of fun, but you gotta have.
You should come out sometime, man. That's 3 days. You should get to see like every band.
Man, I gotta say, I definitely gotta come out to California. I've been meaning to for years, man. I think it's over like 1,200 kilometers away, like a day and a half of full driving. That's not even including like piss breaks, food, sleeping. So it's a long drive, man, but I will make it out there one day, because honestly, that's always my dream vacation, is just to kick it in California.
You probably catch a flight real cheap, dude. I mean, I don't know how they do that, though. If it costs more to fly out from Canada and then come in.
I think the one band drove out here. What was it?
We played
Torches
the
to Triggers,
which is a badass band, by the way.
They're from Clare. I want to say Clare. I can't pronounce it. Claregi or something like that out in Canada.
Yeah, that's terrible. We can't.
He was out in the sticks too, like woods, I guess. And yeah, they came out here, man. They enjoyed themselves big time. It was a lot of fun playing a show with them. And
yeah,
they played a couple places out here, but yeah, they made the trip down from Canada. And
we brought down a lot of people, because where we live at, let's put it this way. So we're in a spot between Los Angeles and San Diego. So there's a huge following for punk rock out here, but not too many promoters that bring shows to this area. After we started getting involved in the scene, we brought out Guttermouth. We're friends with everybody now too. You know, Guttermouth, Strung Out, a bunch of different bands that played in Temecula, which is right near us. And we can sell it out every time. Sell tickets online.
Because bands are looking for a stop point in between
San Diego and Los Angeles.
Yeah, so if they can get a show in Riverside County, they love that, you know, because this is another spot so they can, you know, play more shows, basically.
But there's a huge following of like punk rock out here. You have like Victor Sandoval. He throws on a bunch of shows. He's in VFMS. I can name off like Since We Were Kids. These guys are they're a skate band out in
Yeah, there's a lot of skate
the
punk.
desert. And
That's still real strong out here, which is cool because Southern California has always been skate punk, you know.
Of course, suicidal. There's
Suicidal tendencies and bands like that started it all off, you know.
But I still love going to see like fucking Pulley or like bands that didn't get the appreciation they should have, but these songs still live in my heart. So when I get to see like Pulley, I mean Lagwagon got kind of they got big, and I still love them. It's still great music. But now we have the opportunity to not only listen to these people play, but we get the opportunity to play with our heroes, especially this guy.
Sorry, I keep.
You don't want to talk. You don't want to talk too much.
I keep
well,
and I don't mean to, but
we literally have 2 babies.
yeah, I got a couple kids in the other room. I'm trying to keep quiet with pirates.
Yeah, we're all old now. We got kids.
Pirates.
That's another challenge is being in a band when you have kids.
All right, let's not lie to them. I don't have kids. I have chronic diarrhea. I've got like 4 times.
You gotta go take a shit.
But also, guys, before we actually part ways here this evening, obviously I know how to find you guys on social media, but for the individuals that are actually just discovering Out to Lunch this evening or with this interview while it's actually circling around YouTube, how can we go about following not only Out to Lunch as a band itself, but of course you guys as individual members?
You can go. We have www.outtolunchpunk.com, which is our main hub, and you can link in from there to our Facebook or Instagrams, any social medias, Spotify's, Apple Music, and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
and then usually from that, I think has like our personal.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have our personal stuff. If you want to look up our personal stuff, you'd have to look up Joey Garcia, Richard Garcia.
There's a million of those.
This guy's got 3 names. He's Matthew Clayton Turek. But you want to keep an eye on all the personal pages because sometimes the personal pages have better stuff than our business pages.
No,
I don't know.
Proceed with caution, though.
You might not want to watch.
Yeah.
You might not want to check that out.
I'm on OnlyFans. Do you like feet?
You do, right? Who doesn't?
But I got to say, first and foremost, guys, again, thank you so much for your time here this evening and just giving us a little bit of your time on this Saturday evening. It was such an honor to speak with all 3 of you guys, and hopefully down the line we can make this happen again sometime soon. But for now, guys, definitely have yourself a killer Saturday night and, of course, a kick-ass weekend as well.
Of course, man.
Thank you.
You
You
guys
too.
are saying, hey, thanks everyone for listening in too.
Definitely. Thank you to the listeners, because without the listeners, neither of us would actually be relevant, to be honest with you.
It's true. Hey,
But again, guys, thank you so much, and definitely have yourself a phenomenal night, guys.
All right, man.
No.
Bye-bye.